Welcome back to another episode. I'm going to call this Travel Truths. That's what the series is called. Do you like that name?
I love that name.
Oh, thanks. So this week we're talking about our scariest moment whilst travelling, or scariest moments. More scary for some, but you were scared as well.
Yeah, but not in the sense of like panicked, just scared.
The first one you were pretty scared.
Yeah, that was different though. Yeah. First one, okay, I was genuinely scared.
We're Joss and Megan, and after 2 years of living full-time on the road in a rooftop tent, we learnt a lot. Now we're here to share what worked, what didn't, and everything we wish we knew before we started.
Scared. Second one, not as much at all, actually, because of the circumstances, whereas you like absolutely lost it. And third one, again, not a lot, but like it did affect my sleep. But again, that was because I was feeding off of your vibes, which was, again, panic.
I guess every experience for me felt, not that it got worse, but I was like, it's going to be the same as the first time.
Yeah.
Like the same kind of vibe.
Maybe. Wasn't. They're all very different situations.
True. It was just the uneasiness.
Yeah, it wasn't nice, no. Especially being in a tent, you're very exposed.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the first one. I was like, oh, like shit, we are not in our car, we can't drive away, we can't just slip into the front seat and drive away. We'd have to get out, literally probably where that person is or whatever, and then get into a car, and then our rooftop's still open. So it was a bit hard.
Yeah. I want to preface this by saying, like, we're not trying to scare people or anyone watching this. Like, we travelled for 2 years.
Two incidences in 2 years. One, not really an incident, but just like not good vibes.
Yeah. And like no one got hurt or anything like that. So realistically, like it was fine.
Yeah.
So every night we had was fine, but these were just the scariest. So I'll quickly start. The first one was in Litchfield National Park in the NT. It was at Wangi Falls. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wangi Falls campground. So there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was full. Everyone, obviously, you have to pay to stay there. There's facilities, so that usually weeds out some undesirable characters.
Yeah. And then even like we went for a walk around the place, like, you know.
Yeah, during the day we were walking around. Everyone was just enjoying. It was such a beautiful, it was hot, dry, dry season up there. So everyone was enjoying swimming and the walking, and everyone was camping. There was families, they were next to us. And then we met a guy, I think he camped on our site, didn't he?
No, he camped he like sneaky camped in one.
Oh, the backpackers next to. I thought we let a guy sleep on our site.
No, that was the next night after we chatted to him. Jaden was his name. So that was all normal. Like everything's normal. Like
when we went to bed, it was quiet. Like no one was partying or anything like that.
Yeah, except for the backpackers next to us.
Yeah, but they weren't partying. They were just like playing cards and drinking.
Different story. Yeah.
No, it was, I don't even know what time. I don't know the exact details, can't remember.
Yeah, it was a while ago now, but I think...
It was like 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So pitch black, obviously.
Yeah, pitch black, silent before this, dead asleep. We just hear this horror scream. So not like a normal scream, like literally you're about to be murdered scream. And we heard it once and we were like, oh, that was weird. And then we kind of like, we were like, oh, whatever, and tried to go back to sleep. And then we heard it once or twice more.
Maybe twice more.
Twice more. And that really like piqued us, like, oh, we're awake now. What was that? And we were on edge.
Sorry, initially I was like, someone's like in a tent, someone's just had like a nightmare and they're like screaming like a sleep talker or something.
Yeah.
And then...
But like scream. Like if you heard someone like proper scream, like it was a scream. Like a horror movie scream.
Yeah, so then after it happened a couple times after that first one, did we see him? It was a bloke, by the way.
It was a guy. We were kind of near, we could see through our tent, like the toilet block, so there was a bit of a light there, and all I could see was someone like pacing like up and down in front of that. And I can remember a guy that was parked a few from us, he'd gotten out because he was going to go check if this person was okay or whatever, and that's when I was like, oh, it's like something might happen here. Anyway, he kept pacing up and down, rambling, so started rambling about, can't even remember what, and that just went on for a very long time. Then he'd get out of sight and we would kind of try and find where he'd gone and things like that, and then he'd came back, and all I remember, it was dry season. I think there was already a few fires in Litchfield, like we were checking the weather a lot because there had been a few closures with roads and things because of bushfires. and he got something, I don't know what it was, and he was over not far from us, like, I want to say like 20 metres.
Yeah, I'd say 20 metres.
He somehow made fire.
He must have had a lighter or something.
Yeah, but it like dripped, like it was like
Yeah.
dripped onto the ground. Luckily it was on the bitumen, like on the actual road. And that's when I was like, oh my God, he's gonna start a fire and then like we'll have to get out of here because it will just spread so quickly. And that's when I was like, oh my God, like this guy's like deranged.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like proper scared.
And then that was like the last we saw of him. I mean, he walked around a bit, but then, it was so dark and you were trying to like adjust your eyes to follow where
And
he
your
was.
ears, you were like trying to concentrate of like the scrunching on the gravel, like every single thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, I can remember he just went around like the other side to obviously go back maybe towards where he was camping. And then the next day, that was the end of it then. Like
Except for the fact that I was busting to go to the toilet.
Yeah, you need to go to the toilet.
And I held it until the light, until like 5 o'clock, until the sun came up. And then even then I was like,
is it safe?
Yeah, is it safe?
Yeah.
I think you have the fear of unknown, like what, and you left like our big knife.
The canopy was open. We just like leave our dirty, like they were clean, dishes when they were drying,
Yeah.
and like, we had a big knife downstairs, and like your mind just races like, oh my gosh, like we're in a tent, like we're very exposed here. That's also why obviously we were trying to like lay low and make it not known that we were, trying to see where this guy was going. But in the morning, we tried to like scout around the campground to figure out like where it'd come from, like maybe they were drunk or on drugs or I don't know, like sleepwalking or something. We were trying to like piece together like who it was, and we could not figure it out.
Yeah, there was
bizarre.
a couple of cars like with young people in it who we thought it might be.
Yeah.
But we didn't
only
hear
because
much.
it started from that direction,
Yeah.
but we have no idea.
But we didn't hear much like going on prior to that, like like any
Yeah.
like ruckus or loud noises or having a good time. So
How'd you sleep?
not good.
Why?
You too.
Joss and I just had our probably scariest night on the road. We both didn't sleep very well. We were at Wangi Falls campground, and we were woken by two like incredible screams by a male, and that obviously woke us up. And then probably 10 minutes later, that person started pacing up and down, probably like 10 meters from our tent, like along the road. They were mumbling and like a bit aggravated and stuff.
I don't know, it was bizarre.
That was encounter number one.
Yeah, and my heart was going like racing the whole time.
Yeah, you were definitely scared. I was scared that time too. And then encounter number two was in Tasmania.
Yeah, so that was, and like
That was a good year later, ish.
No,
Not
6
quite.
months later.
Okay.
Yeah, this one wasn't as bad for like when you step back.
Yeah. We were camped behind a pub, not really a town, just a pub.
Just a free camp.
We were
thing.
camping actually with Joss's parents, who were in a camper van, like locked away in a camper van. And we were parked next to them. And there was a few people at the top. They had like four-wheelers and like families. And then there was another family really close to us that had a fire going. They were drinking a lot. We could tell they were drinking a lot, the parents. And again, this was it was after midnight. They kept, drinking and carrying on. We were already in bed. And we could hear the guy get the axe and start chopping wood frantically, like really angry, like really going in on this wood, wasn't he?
So what woke me up was like the odd yell, like
He was having a fight with his mum,
yeah.
and while he was chopping wood, it was very
Yeah,
strange.
and then he was chopping wood, and like obviously that's very loud, like when it's quiet
Yeah.
at night and someone like cuts a bit of wood.
Yeah.
And him yelling, and then it got to the point where obviously he got like more agitated. So I don't know really what his movements were. He got to the point where he was in like the toilet block.
Yeah, he came over because we were near the toilets again. He kind of was yelling at his mum, carrying on. Then she kind of like let him go. He was ranting and raving. He didn't have the axe with him. We'll just put that out there. And he went into the toilet blocks and carried on. And I think he went back to the camper trailer and started, maybe even with his partner, started
I
arguing
don't
and
know
things
what
like
they-
that.
yeah.
And then we were like, why aren't they calling the cops? This is a bit strange. Like, it was a bit of a domestic. And then we heard glass breaking.
So he wandered over to the pub, to the back of the pub, and then there were some houses on the other side of that, and I guess they were empty. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we could hear him just like smashing windows, like punching windows essentially.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I was like freaking out. Because again, I just feel so vulnerable in the tent.
Whereas this time he was just drunk. So I feel like as long as you didn't confront him, like he's not going to come up and start trouble. So as long as we just didn't stare at him, didn't pay any attention, I feel like he would have just like, it would have died down. Joss panicked. In his jocks, bolted down. I don't even know if he might have just jumped straight out of the tent.
No. Off the car?
Off the car. No, he bolted down the ladder, banging frantically on his parents' camper trailer door to let him in. Drags me down there with him to like gain the camper trailer. I should have just left
you in there.
Yeah, I would have been back to sleep.
That's the thing. I felt so vulnerable in the tent.
No, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And
I was like, well, there is a enclosed space with lockable doors right here. I'm gonna fight or flight. No, it was just flight. It was just flight. Like I was literally flying through the door. And then did he just go back to bed?
He must have went back to his tent. We also went back into our tent, and then a few hours after that, a paddy wagon came and did take him away. So they obviously called the cops, but because of where we were, it took a while, obviously, for them to get there. And by then, I think the alcohol had run off because he just went without a fuss. Like he was fine after that.
Lock him up.
He was locked up. I'm surprised you didn't call the cops.
My reaction is just get somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Again, we're in like pretty, not remote Tasmania, but like rural Tasmania. I'm not going to call them. If he wanted to kill me, I'd be dead.
He would have been dead.
So the cops aren't going to do much.
No.
But I'm glad they came, sorted their own sort of issues out. But yeah, that was, and I reckon.
But he was not rational. Like.
Oh no, you couldn't
reason with him. Like he was in another world.
And I reckon I was worse then from the Litchfield experience, and then it kind of kept exacerbating. So the less of a issue there was, I still had the same reaction to probably the first time. So
yeah. Then
the last time was, again, only an issue for me. It wasn't really an issue for you whatsoever. No. It wasn't even an issue, really. Looking back on it now. I can look back in hindsight.
Yeah, but in hindsight as well, like in the situation, we were camped on a river in complete, like in a bush, nobody around, like no one knew we were there, like it was very random spot that we were in.
Like there was no reception or anything.
I don't think so, no. We weren't, I don't think we had any reception. And it was kind of like a spooky-ish place, like it just didn't feel like, I don't know, a well-known spot. And there was just this lad in a van across the river from us, and again, bit of a character, and just doing his own thing. I don't think he really liked civilization too much. And he was fine when we got there, not a peep. As it got darker, he got louder. He started pacing, drinking, music, and it was just like not a good vibe. And again, it was just us and him, so I could understand why you were like, nah,
yeah,
this
I
isn't
guess
even
there
worth
was no other decoys.
No other
there was
victims.
No one to like. He's going to get them first before he gets me. I was the first one on his list in my head.
In your head.
So that was kind of, how that one came about. And I was like, there's nowhere to be safe.
No.
So let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It was early-ish in the night. So that was probably like 1, maybe like 12 or 1 o'clock. And so we were just like, whatever, it is what it is. And we just packed up because we could pack up, close the tent, and we just drove away and found a different spot just because we knew we weren't going to get sleep anyway with that one. But if we would camped in that spot in that situation with like friends or somebody else, I don't think it would have felt as maybe threatening.
Yeah.
But it's just because it was us and him.
True.
It was just a bit, I don't know, it was just a bit weird vibes.
Yeah, it was. I think.
But it was, I think he was harmless. It just didn't
I'm sure
feel.
He was. But I agree. But in the moment, personally, I can't rationalise that.
No, you couldn't. And that's why I knew as well by the third time. I was like, yep, to get us both sleep and for you to feel better, like we'll just leave. It was a really nice spot though.
Yeah, nice spot to get murdered. That's what he was thinking.
That's what he was thinking. He might have been threatened by you.
Most people are. And that's the thing, when you're in a couple, I'm supposed to be the one who's like, I'll protect you. But I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
You leave me behind.
Yeah, but you're the one who's not scared.
No,
So.
those stories, I think I'm sure everyone has them. And again, like there's no real threat to you. It's just in the moment, you're just a bit uneasy. And I think with our setup, it felt maybe a bit more threatening because we felt exposed. Like we had like tiny thin canvas between us and the outside world. That was it made me felt more scary for us because of that. Whereas if you're in a van, you know, you're behind steel.
Yeah, and if you're in
a caravan, like you're so secure, you're locked in, like it's fine. Whereas for us, it just felt a bit not great being in a rooftop.
Yeah, exactly. You have to get out to get in. So, and that's when they get you.
That's when they get on when they get you.
Noise cancelling headphones work as well. So like
They do. There was another encounter, but you didn't hear
I sat through it. There was a couple actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about them another time. But because I know deep down that like nothing's going to happen, the best thing for me to do is to not hear it. So if I sleep with noise cancelling headphones in, I sleep through a couple of other instances we had and woke up feeling fresh as a daisy. So cool. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.